Cleveland Bowlerdrome, all set for bowling, as is you at home when we say hello to Pop Showstack, who is just as loyal a regular as Ace. 84 years old, a regular viewer, rearranges his schedule on the weekend and his family schedule to watch the program. We thank you.
Way to go, Pops.
All set for the challengers match. Jon Winchell versus Jeff Surette. Jeff up first. And he will drop 3 to begin with.
A little off target to the right. Jeff, another one of our young guns in this game. Excellent candlepin bowler.
Come on, grab it.
He'll go without a mark in the first, just a one-game challengers match, so you don't have any room for error in this one, especially if your opponent starts hot. A 10 box for Jeff. Over to lane 36, his second box. Oh, excellent job with the strike. Well done, putting some early pressure on Jon Winchell.
Didn't miss it to the right that time, right in the 1-3 pocket. First mark of the match, and here's the replay. Looks like he was tripping the 4 and the 10 pins the last 2 to go. Oh, Jon Winchell right back. Everything but the 5 pin.
Jon, the New Hampshire native. And he will mark with a spare his first frame. Pete Ianuzzo from the Bowling Ianuzzos, waiting in the wings for the winner of the challengers match. He'll fill with 8 pins. Can he open with consecutive marks? Some wood to the right. Unable to do it.
Yeah, it was a tough piece of wood out in front. I think he wanted to catch a little piece of that front piece, but went too far to the right. That's what he wanted to do. Good 10 box, 28.
Not leaving any pins so far. Back to Jeff now, and his first ball to fill after that big strike in the second frame. Off the head pin to the left, and he will drop 7.
Looking at the 1, 3, and 7 pins. Working on that strike.
The 7 to the left, that's a very easy pin to get generally for the right-handers when he does it. Pinning out with 10 in that frame, a 10 box up to 39. Out of his 4th frame. He'll drop half the pins, 5 down, 5 up.
1, 3, and 9 pins on the right, 4, 7 left-hand corner.
Get it all.
Nicely done.
Likes that lane 36. First to strike in the second frame, and now a spare in the 4th.
You see the replay of that beautiful spare made by Jeff Surette.
Back to Jon Winchell.
And he'll have the 4 horsemen left plus the 9 pin. Piece of wood in front of the 9 should help him with that pin.
It's the wood, and it slides across, leaving 3 still up. No mark in the 3rd, but all 10 pins now opposite. The spare in the 4th from Jeff Surette. Could be a key frame right here.
He wants to keep pace with Jeff. These 2 guys have bowling into each other many, many times, so.
Not making his life easy.
No, hit the object pin, but just drove the head pin straight back, cleared out the 1, 5, and the 8 pins. Spread eagle plus the 9 pin, but a piece of wood in between should help. Missed the object pin, that being that 2 pin.
Still plenty of wood out front. 2 pins remain. He gets 8. Pushes total to 46. 3-pin lead for Jeff, but a big ball coming up in the fill following a spare in the 4th.
Certainly is. Can push that lead into double figures.
And he
gets the strike.
Little drama involved, but all 10 drop.
I think Johnny cleaned 9 of them out quickly, and then the piece of wood, as you can see, kept twirling around and finally knocked that 5-pin down right here. Looking for the double strike, and very nearly does that.
First half of the fill is a 9, and his game is heating up.
Tough piece of wood facing at you against that 2-pin.
3 marks in a row.
Nicely done by Jeff Surette.
3 marks in a row, 4 in the last 5, including 2 strikes. He's up to 89 through 6. Plus the fill in the 7th. Jon Winchell hoping to have an answer.
Ooh, almost a strike.
It's that stubborn 7-pin still up as he got 9 to go. And a mark for Jon in the 5th.
Almost a must mark. Keep him close or closer. Still has another mark facing him already posted by Jeff Surette.
Big first ball. Here's the fill. And he will get 7. Looks like it might have been 8, but 3 stay up.
And not an easy leave, especially with a piece of wood facing him on the 2, 5, and 8. Oh, is he going to get it off the wall? Great shot by Jon Winchell.
Needed that to hang around. He's got 3 marks himself through the first 6.
You see the replay. Meanwhile, Jeff Surette is throwing a strike while we watch the replay of Jon Winchell.
Up to 109, 4 straight marks. Now we see him live here. He fills the first half at least, dropping 6 more. This is the 8th frame now for Jeff.
Remember, this is the second year we have that $1,000 pool out there for a triple strike. And is he going to steal this one? Oh, things are going his way.
5 marks in a row, 6 of the last 7, up to 129.
Missed the object pin there, but was lucky enough to have the wood come back. Take a look at this. Coming back, just nudging the head pin to make it his 5th consecutive mark and 6th overall in this game. That's 6 on a spare for Jon.
Tough split, though.
3, 6, 4, 7. No wood to help him.
Four and 7 still up after 2 balls. They're in this box. Going to post a pretty decent total when it's all said and done, but Jeff Surette is just red hot.
Finds himself down by 30 and still facing another mark. Jon, as I started to say about the $1,000 pool, anyone who hits a triple strike will split that pool. Right now, Jon would like to split it because that would get him back in the game. So far, we have no takers on the triple strike pool. Last year, Mike Poulin and Det Klein split that $1,000.
Let's see if Jon Winchell can mark here in the 8th with 2 up.
1 and 9.
Just the 1. And if you're Pete Ianuzzo, you're hoping Jeff Surette cools off before he meets you in that 2-game championship match, because he has just been on a tear.
129, as Jon was alluding to, plus this ball.
How about 8 more? Looking to make it 6 marks in a row. I don't recall that happening in the time I've been involved with the show. Nope, it won't happen this time, but boy, 5 in a row was quite a run.
Especially where he went spare, strike, spare, strike, spare. I mean, you're going up and 20 a shot. You see the 147 through 9. Fantastic opening game.
If he can duplicate this effort in the championship match, you start to talk about the best two-game total of the season, and a guy that could be around for the final show.
Absolutely.
Getting ahead of ourselves a little bit, but boy, what a start to his day. Last ball upcoming here in the 10th.
And it's the first time he gets up there without throwing at least one mark in his 2 frames. But a 155.
Real good score for Jeff Surette. Now Jon Winchell to finish up.
Still has an outside chance, but he needs strikes. Almost stole one.
Just that 10 up. So, a lot of traffic and wood in the front.
Now it's all academic. He really needed this strike there to have any chance at all. So Jeff Surette is going to move on to the championship round to take on one-time champ Pete Ianuzzo.
John up to 108, and as I alluded to, he will post a relatively decent score, but when you're opposite a 155, it's not your day. The 7 and the 10, the goalposts left hanging around. Last frame for Jon Winchell. And now his final ball upcoming. He will add 9 more to his total, 117, but still a 38-point deficit to the tremendous bowling of Jeff Surette. 155-117, it's Surette and Pete Ianuzzo. We're off to the championship next on CNA. Welcome back to Woburn. The Ianuzzo clan front and center, right in the middle. That's Pete Ianuzzo Sr., a Hall of Famer in the Candlepin Hall of Fame. Of course, his son, Pete Ianuzzo Jr., is the champ. He will go first now here in the championship round, but a tough task facing the red-hot Jeff Surette. Glad you're with us on the $30,000 Candlepin Challenge. It's a 2-game total here in the championship match as we crown a new champ, or perhaps keep our reigning champ. You're looking at him out of Reading, Massachusetts. He'll drop 7. The 3, 6, and the 10.
And a couple pieces of wood looks very inviting. I think you and I can make this one, John.
Gets it. A spare to open with for Pete Ianuzzo.
You see, no problem with 2 pieces of wood. Nice angle, just a domino effect with those 3 pins and his first mark. Always nice to put one up there early. Some butterflies.
He'll fill with 5. And then add a couple more.
Just tried a little full on the head pin, tried to corral the 4 horsemen plus the 8 pin, I believe it was, in the back. Or actually, it's a 5 pin.
An 8-box to 23 for Pete. Jeff Surette had 6 marks in his challengers game. 5 in a row at one point.
Can he keep that momentum?
Tewksbury, Massachusetts. Candlewood Lanes. A little off in that first ball. And he has dropped a total of 8, but he'll go without a mark. Opposite that mark from Pete in the first. Maybe a little butterflies to open. Now you're in the championship match. It's a whole different world.
Well, if he does, he certainly hides them well. Doesn't look like he's too nervous. Spread eagle through the middle.
3, 6, 10, 2, 4 in the 7. Target to the left side. 4 still up. Couple of open frames for Jeff, and he leaves some pins standing. A total of 17, down 6. Back to Pete. Pete trying to make it 2 weeks in a row as the champ. Right on the head pin, but drops just 6.
More difficult than the last spare he made. 2-4 on the left, 6-10 with a piece of wood on the right. Trying to split the 2 and the 4. Just sliding by the 2.
He will add 9 to his total, up to 32 now. A little more room for leeway here in the championship match because it is that 2-game total.
Got a little domino effect there. And
one more, maybe?
Crowd is wishing that 8-pin down. He's got a shot at this with the head pin and a piece of wood. Should push the head pin back towards the 7 and the 8. Right around the 7.
Third ball now here in the 4th. See if he can take out that 7. He'll do it. 42 the total for Pete Ianuzzo. Jeff Surette without a mark and 1 and 2 now to frame 3. 25 pins over his average, as you saw, on a 130 average. Bowled a 155 in that first game. See if he can make this, pick up his first mark.
3 and the 10. Oh boy, I have to think that the wood killed that shot. Prevented the ball or the pin from knocking the 10 pin down.
Pins out there to 27. Opposite the open frame. Good chance to make up some ground right now here in the 4th. And just the 10 up.
You have to be careful of this, and he's looking at it too. The piece of wood out in front is quite a bit out in front of the 10 pin. And he's got 2 pieces of wood in the channel next to the 10 pin, which might prevent that wood from driving all the way back into the 10 pin.
Well done.
I
saw exactly what you saw.
Yeah, he had another choice. From my angle, I wasn't sure if that was a good angle or not, but you see, avoids the front piece, catches the one just the left of the 10 pin, and converts it for a spare. Oh, a good bowler, but he's a smart one too. Right back in the head pin is Pete Ianuzzo dropping 9, and we'll have an Earl sighting here very shortly, folks.
There he is. Oh, just a spattering of applause.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Let's save it for the end.
See if Pete can keep his concentration during that now and mark himself. You bet.
His second mark, both spares, all spares for the bowler so far. 2 for Pete, 1 for Jeff.
I got him to 52 and the fill right here.
Looked like he put a little extra on that. Threw the ball a little harder. Drove it right straight through the middle. So if you missed it last week, Pete defeated another household name in the Candlepin world, and that Det Klein opened up with a great 138 against Det's 104, and then struggled the second game with only a 90, but held on for the 8-pin victory, 228 to 220.
That'll move him to 66.
Jeff will fill his spare now in the 4th.
fill with 9. 7 up.
7-pin all by itself.
Gets it. Back-to-back marks at 5 in a row in Challengers game. 2 now. Looking for 3.
See his high single, 202. Amazing. Just 5 and a strange leave. 3, 5, 8, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9.
Three still up now. $10 up to 71, and now Jeff is in the lead by 5 pins. We'll be back with the finish of game 1 of the championship match right after this on CNH.
Okay, folks. Obviously it works. Sometimes I wonder if you listen to me at all, but you must have, because there's a huge crowd. We've been telling you when the tape dates are, and we're going to tell you again. November 14th is the next tape date. We start about 9:15 in the morning. Woburn Bowldrome. Come on, John, join the fun. We're in a huge crowd next time.
We are back for the finish of game 1, 71 to 66. Jeff Surette has the advantage, 5-pin advantage. Pete Ianuzzo, the reigning champ, stepping in first. He will drop 6 more. Looking for his 3rd mark of game 1. Had a spare in the 1st and later a 2nd one in the 5th. That'll leave the 7-4-9.
And make it a 9.
Up to 75 now. Eighth frame for Pete Ianuzzo. Back to defend his championship this week. Makeable leave. He has his 3rd mark of the match. Up to 85. He'll fill in the 9th, but now Jeff Surette in the 7th. Trying to maintain that 5-pin advantage. It's opposite a 9 here in the 7th. He'll drop 9 with his very first ball.
I was just going to say, we were looking for our first strike of this championship round. Jeff had 2 in the Challengers match. Almost had one there.
There's a spare. Extends that advantage to 6 and a big fill here in the 8th. 3 marks total for Jeff. Had 6 back in the Challengers game. He will fill with 8. The Earl of Bowling is needed for some assistance.
Oh, wow. Did you hear that, John? Some little kid in the crowd said, "Who's Earl?" Who's Earl?
Probably not his demographic, the young crowd.
No, he must be a newcomer to the show. Oh, Jeff pulls the ball far left and misses the 5 and the 9.
Missed opportunity. That's going to keep things pretty tight as he picks up the 10 box. Pin advantage, but Pete has the fill here in the 9th after that spare in the 8th. He will no doubt tighten this match up with this ball right here.
Certainly should. He's thinking head pin. Decent drop of 7. Climbs to within 7 pins of Jeff Surette. Looking at the 3, 5, and 10 to go 2 marks in a row.
Can he make it back to back? to it.
I thought he may have trouble with the 5-pin because of the wood, but I certainly thought he would carry the 10. Oh, what a 10 box. Cut the 5 into the 10.
102 now for Pete.
There it is.
Last frame, game 1 for Pete Ianuzzo. 8 more.
Just the 2 and the 4 left. Trying to make his 4th mark of the match. All spares.
Close of the mark and pick up that bonus ball.
Oh, just sliding by that 2-pin.
Gets the 4 only. Can he push the total to 112? Yes, he does. The 112, game 1 for Pete. Now Jeff Surette to finish up his first game. First strike of this game. Dan was calling for it. He gets it in the 9th.
It's a matter of time because he's been burying the ball in there. 8, 9-pin drops. Finally at the strike.
Big Phil, first half.
Still working
more and more and more. 7 total.
All said and done, just the head pin, 7 and 9 pins left. A couple pieces of wood, one behind the head pin, which should help. Trying to go spare on strike, and it'll be his 5th mark. No.
They'll have the lead heading into game 2. It's a lead of 13, 125 to 112. The second game still to come. We're back with that right after this on CN8 in the $30,000 Candlepin Challenge. Well, here we go, game 2 of the championship match. Jeff Surette, the challenger, up by 13 pins, 125-112, and he'll step up first in game 2. They will drop 8 to begin with. That's 30 pins off his score in the challengers game of 155, but still a solid effort, 125, and good for that 13-pin lead.
Got the ball to come back for that 9-pin, but didn't knock it down. Not for lack of effort.
10 box to open with for Jeff. Pete Ianuzzo in as the defending champ. I think in 2 weeks in a row. Jeff will drop 7 in frame 2.
2, 5, and 8. Always a difficult spare because of the sleeper, the 8-pin in the back.
It's all easy. 3. Mark for Jeff Surette. Had 4 in that first game. Now Pete Ianuzzo with some work to do. Left-hander.
I wanted that 7-pin to fall forward into the 4, but the 4 stays along with the 3, 6, and 10. Needs to make one of these. A lot of times it kind of loosens things up, and he's going to make that one. Great shot.
Well done by the lefty, a mark in the first.
Played it on the inside, comes off the wall. The 6-pin comes across for the 4, and the wood takes out the 10.
That certainly excited the crowd. A lot of them part of the Ianuzzo family. With 4 horsemen to the right, filling with 6. Can he make it back-to-back marks? 1, 3, 6, and 10.
4 horsemen. He's got a piece of wood, a couple pieces behind the pins that probably will help him. How can you get the head pin, the 6, and the 10 and leave the 3? Earl, how does that happen?
Gotta ask a physicist on that one. We get all 10 in the frame, though. To 26. Got that pin advantage down to 7. Now Jeff Surette, frame 3. 7 will go.
1, 3, and 7 pins left. 7 fill on the spare.
Cannot make it consecutive marks. At 7 still standing. But the righty takes it out for 10 bucks, moving to 37. Now up to 14 is lead. Gets half of them to go.
Wasn't too thrilled with that ball. He turned away, knew that was to the left. Just gonna have 2 open frames for Pete to work on.
2 open in 3 of the first 4. Moves to 45. Chance for Pete Ianuzzo to tighten things up. And you can hear the crowd support as he steps in every time.
Trails by 14, opposite a 10 and an 8. Seems to come just a tad heavy on the head pin. Instead of hitting flush in the 1-2, comes in heavy and ends up with splits like this: 3, 6, 10 on the right, 4, 7 left. Tries it on the inside again.
The 3 and the 10 go, but not the 6. 4, 7 still to the left. See if he can match that 10 box from Jeff here in the 3rd. Can't do it. They lose 2 and count, down 16 now, heading into the 4th. Again, opposite an open frame. Chance to make up some ground.
Oh boy, he put that one in the pocket.
Thought he had it too.
Show, yeah. The 5 and then the 8, 9, and 10. He's going to take a good look at that piece of wood. Looks like it's in contact with the 5, so he may have a chance above the red line on that wood. Hopefully the 5 take out the 9 and the 10.
Second ball.
Oh, took out the 9, went in front of the 10, came back in front of the 10, never touched it.
Trying to get those 2 pins back that he lost in the 3rd. Do it with a lead for the 2 games so far. 14 pins. Now Jeff Surette in the 5th.
Half Worcester left.
Just the 7 still up. $10 to 55. How about that? Big time for the strike in the 6th.
He looked like he threw that ball a little full in the head pin, but he got some nice mixing action. Here's a strike. Looked like he was going to be left with a 2, 4, 6, 10. 6 and 10 go down, and finally the 2 and the 4 for the strike.
Out of Pete, and he has got to come up with a mark. A couple marks now.
Oh boy. Well, he made this for a 10 box earlier. 5 and the 10 pins. Put that one right in the pocket. That's what he has to show for it.
Gets the kingpin, but not the 10. The total lead now at 15 through 5 complete, but he is opposite the strike in the 6th. This could be the telltale frame of the whole match if he can't match. At least with a spare.
Yep. And again, just a little full in that time. Leaving the 2, 4, 7 left, 6, 10 right. Looks like he's going to probably have to go after the 2 and the 4.
Last ball here in the 6th frame for Pete Ianuzzo. 9. And the lead now at 16, but the big fill off the strike coming up for Jeff when we come back to wrap up Game 2 of the championship match on CNH. We're back and some work to do for the champ. First, Jeff Surette will look to extend that lead. It's a 16-pin advantage, but what a gigantic ball coming up after the strike in the 6th. Here's the first half of the fill. Dropped 8 of the 10.
Let's see where this wood settles down. He's got the 3 and the 4. Well, he's naturally have to play that piece of wood facing him, and after that, needs Lady Luck involved. Oh, he's gonna get it! Oh, what a shot! Fair on strike. Had to touch the wood, it came off the wall and just turned enough to carry that 4-pin.
There's the Bill. Bill's with 4. And all of a sudden that edge over Pete looking like a mountain. Final ball in the 8th for Jeff Surette, trying to get the 10 box. Gets 9 and moves to a 98. Pete needs to mark and mark quickly.
Yes, he does. Down by 26, still opposite a spare 4 in this frame. Still has room. Come on, he's not going to get a break.
On a couple occasions, I think he's thought that he was right on, pumping his fist, but
at least he's got the wood to play here. But that was another ball right in the pocket. Testy 5-10 pins.
Got it. Staying alive. What can he do with the fill in the 8th?
You can see the replay. The ball jumps over that second piece of wood and into the 10 pin. Needs a decent fill. Keep marking. This time he tries a little light. Still not a very good break. Decent 7-pin drop. Same idea as Jeff. He's got 2 pieces of wood looking at him. I would probably try to take both of them. One on the right first. Get both pieces moving somehow. The 9 and the 7. No. Delicate shot. Took out just the 3-pin.
3rd ball. One more. And lead at 23.
He'll need at least a couple strikes when he gets up there. That's assuming that Jeff does not mark, which would be a big assumption.
Good shape to mark now after that 8-pin drop to start.
Yeah, I missed the head pin, but he got a decent break, leaving just like John said, the 1 and the 3.
Gets it. That could ice it. 108 in the fill ball here in the 10th. Began game 2 up 13 pins. He's added to that lead. He will fill with 6. Figure on that one to get a bonus ball. He's been real consistent with his marks in his 3 games today.
You see the replay of that spare. Wood was angled behind the head pin beautifully. Then make that head pin go down and take out the 10, and the wood took out the other 2.
6 marks in that 155 game in the Challengers match, and 4 marks, 5 marks in game 2. And he'll add 5 more points to his total.
254, 125, 129, pretty consistent. And had that 155 opening game in the Challengers match.
We're going to have a new champ. He's going to lead the 7 and the 10.
Still can't get them together.
So it'll be a 1-week run for Pete Ianuzzo. Jeff Surette moving into the championship spot. Looks a little like Trot Nixon. I don't say so myself. Am I a little too wrapped up in the Red Sox? Maybe I seeing things. A 10 box for Pete.
I think he might have put that wood in the
Call that a 9. Pete to wrap up.
And again.
Hasn't had luck in his side.
No, and when he watches the show, if somebody's taping it for him, he's going to see that he bowled pretty well, just could not get them together.
And the final ball still to come now. Pete Ianuzzo gives way to Jeff Surette, 254, 219, a 35-pin win. We're back to wrap it up after this. Back to wrap it up, 254, 219. We've got a new champ in Jeff Surette.
Well, he's on cruise control in that Challengers match, and it didn't look like he was putting anything together, and all of a sudden you look, he's got 254, so he's very, very consistent.
A lot of marks for Jeff. We'll speak with him in just a second, but first, Trina standing by. Trina?
Thanks, John. I'm here with last week's champ and our challenger today. John, we'll start with you. Jeff was on fire, but how'd you feel about your string?
It was okay. I was not consistent hitting the head pin, which is very key in this game, so when you don't do that, it's very hard to score. And Jeff was all over it, so he deserved it.
All right. Well, it's very nice of you. The ICBA has a parting gift for you there, John. We'll see you back again.
I hope so.
And Pete, our champ for a week. I know we'll see you back again, but how do you feel about today's performance?
Today, first string, I bowled Mets and Mets. Second string, I was on the head pin, couldn't buy a break, but Jeff bowled very well, and good luck to him.
All right. Very nice of you as well. $200 for you from the ICBA.
Thank you.
Back over to you, John.
All right, Trina, thanks. With the champ, Jeff Surette, and boy, you made a statement early with the 155 in the Challengers match, and really never look back.
Yeah, it's good to come out early, stay in the head pin and just go from there.
What were the keys for you? So consistent, even when you went with a little bit of a drought, you'd come back with a couple marks in a row.
That's what you got to do. There's no defense in this game. You just got to keep throwing it.
We'll see you back next week.
Thank you.
For Dan Murphy and our crew, I'm Jon Holt. Thanks for watching the Candlepin Challenge. See you next time on CN8.
When our son